Hey everybody, Mega Ruler 31 back here for FSi DFS. It's Friday. We've got a 12 game slate here, and I've got a ticket in the Immaculate Innings, so it's like what a 550 entry max there at $111. So prize 100K, which is 5,000. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm gonna have to try to dig in deep here and figure out something that's gonna be pretty cool to try to take it down. So let's talk through it and build some lineups and hopefully get you on the way to some green screens leading into the weekend. First game we have today is San Diego Padres and the Baltimore Orioles. We have Adam Mazur and Grayson Rodriguez. Mazur, definitely a not going to be playing him here. And Baltimore's great offense. They're back home, even though it's more of a pitcher's park. They hit well there, 84 degrees. Grayson Rodriguez on the other side, I think he's in play here if you're paying up for pitching, but the Padres really have actually hit well recently. And also their strikeouts have been way down, 18.3% over the last 14 days. So I don't think I'll be playing much Rodriguez. San Diego bats, I think definitely make in the 150 max if you're going there to have a stack, just because again they have been hitting well recently. But Baltimore's going to be a top stack on the slate here. Rushman got the day off there; he should be back. Gunnar Henderson is just amazing. Santander has been on fire also. Plus, there's some cheaper pieces at the bottom of this lineup now. Kaiser's been playing regularly and been playing well and starting to heat up again like he did early on in the season. Mullins can be do well, and Connor Norby's got some starts recently too at second base at only 3K with the Matos entry. So definitely some reasonable prices to make the top pieces work. Texas Rangers and Toronto Blue Jay, Andrew Heaney and Sho Kikuchi, a battle of lefties here. Heaney hasn't been bad recently, so I think he can be in play, but Toronto's strikeout rate has really come down. It's less than 20% at 19.3 in the fourth overall. So I think he's in play in the cheap range, but not my favorite pitcher there. And Kikuchi has actually been solid recently, also after kind of struggling early on this season. Texas definitely has some pop here, and Semyon has had a pedestrian season, but he's still got the potential there. But like Langford, Garcia is starting to heat up. So it all depends on how many lefties they throw out there. If you have like Seager Smith and Lau in the lineup, then and like maybe some other ones, maybe I'll consider him a little bit more. But I think he's like still in play in the 8K range. But I think there's two pitchers above him that I like. And bat wise, I think they're just bottom of the GPP there because Heaney can give up home runs and so can Kikuchi. So I think you're home run hunting there. So take the one offs that you want to have the splits advantage, or just go full stack if you want to, but not playing either team in cash. Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets, Charlie Morton. I just think he's over the hill here. I think he can still pitch, but I don't see the K upside there. And the Mets have been pretty hot recently. Have and just been like playing really well and hitting home runs and delivering runs. So I just don't think he's safe, even though it is a pitcher's ballpark here in City Field. And Senga finally makes his season debut, but he's probably only going to have like an 80, 85 pitch count. So at 9K, I just don't think I can pull the trigger there, even though the Braves team is so banged up and kind of watered down. So bat wise, Atlanta, I mean, I could maybe make a case for them, and I think they might be a sneaky team that I might be considering for the immaculate inning, just because Senga's coming back from injury. And the Mets bullpen has been pretty scary recently too. They're like in the top five lowest in ERA in the last 14 days. So I don't know. Maybe there is a chance here to play them. Hopefully, if has Riley back, I know he's been banged up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Clinic is hit or miss, but Ozuna's been solid. Olson, he's had a down season, but he could be okay. It's probably just not having all the protection in the lineup. So, could I make a 5-man stack out of this? I don't know. I'm probably not going and playing like Murphy Reddy on righty, Darno the catcher, Alvarez. Nacho. He's got a little bit of speed, but I haven't seen a ton out of him yet. Or see at the bottom, maybe wrap around. So I don't know where I'd go with that. The Mets, I think they're definitely interesting and probably my favorite GPP stack here against Morton. I think they can definitely put up some runs here. Lindor has been hot. Nemo was hot like last week, but still is okay. Alonso is a great player. Like I like him better against lefties, but McNeil is just caught fire too. So the Bader, I think, is a little banged up. We'll have to see if he's in the offense or if somebody else comes in for him. But I think the Mets are definitely an intriguing play also today. Classic matchup here: Yankees and Red Sox in Fenway. Nestor Cortez and Brian Bello. I know Cortez is up down the season, uh, but the Red Sox have had a huge K rate against left-handed pitching, and I think that he definitely is a strikeout pitcher. So I think in the mid-range here at 8.5, he could definitely be a way to go to try to get some strikeouts. Bello on the other side, like he just the K's aren't there for him. 150 max. I can't put him in the fade category because the Yankees can provide some strikeouts at times, but I think you need to be cautious there. It's I don't know, maybe like a park downgrade. I think Fenway at times can be a better hitter park than Yankee Stadium, but it all depends on like your handedness and like how like what part of the park like the hitters usually hit towards. So and wind's not going to be a huge factor here. It's like 5 miles per hour, but it's like straight across from left field to right field. So I don't think that's going to help hitting too much here. So the pitchers, like I said, Cortez, I think you can definitely make a strong case for. I feel more GPP, but in cash, I don't hate it. Bello, it would only be 150 bucks. Bat wise, the Yankees, I think, would be my second favorite stack here. Just just Rice would probably lead off. Soto, Wells has actually moved up to the fourth spot and actually start like he was a good hitter, but he didn't have much power. But he's starting to show a little bit of that now. And Verdugo, and you can definitely make it work and get with all the cheap pieces now here. You have two 6K guys on the Yankees. Everybody else is like 3K. Or even like Grissom and like DMA who's down there, like they're almost a value stack if you take out the top two, which is just amazing. So definitely I'll have some exposure to some Yankees tonight. And I will take some shots with the righties here against Cortez. So Reef Snyder, Wong, I've played all year. Devers are fine, lefty and lefty. Same thing with Dram. I usually only play one of them in my stack. O'Neill has been elite against left-handed pitching. And then just even Westbrook, like I said, is a wraparound and a couple other videos. Like he has shown some power, and at 2,500 is a pretty good punt play to put at second base there. So you could do a wraparound and take like Westbrook, Duran, or Devers, and then Reese Snyder, Wong, and O'Neill. And it's probably how I'd mix it up there. Dodgers and Astros, Gavin Stone and Framber Valdez. I'm not interested in either pitcher here. Stone is going to be huge for me. Valdez is probably going to be down in the bottom of the mid range here. I just don't think like Houston has the K upside. That's why like Stone's going to be a fit. I mean, you maybe move him over to the 150 max. I do have a spot there, but I just don't see the upside for him. I just at 7.8 to get like 10 DK points out of him. I don't know. I don't think I can do it. Bat wise, like I said, Valdez, I think is in play, even though it's against the Dodgers. Like they are a little bit banged up here, but bottom of the lineup, like Taylor was good against like lefties, and now he's out. So they brought out Nick Arman for shortstop, he was on who was that Arizona, and then he was on somebody else this season, but he's always only been a defensive guy. And I played Showdown last night, and I stacked and like I stacked who were they playing? Were they playing San Francisco? So I stacked San Francisco. I took a Dodgers one off and I took him on because he was the only guy cheap. It fit. And I'm just like, if he can give me three, and he had a home run. So I mean, I don't expect like the power to be there quite often, but I mean, it does make the some of these cheaper guys. I probably like prefer Lux even if he's in the lineup lefty and lefty or Kiki Hernandez. Or Vargas for only like $500 more. Pagas like hitting fifth here. Like this Dodger team, has come down in price, which has been nice because they're much more playable here. Um, so I think that you can definitely look at them, but I think that both these teams, like bat wise, are going to be more of 150 max for me, just in the context of the slate. I like the matchups for the GPP teams better, but I think these teams usually have more ownership, and I think that it's people are going to look at the totals of them and the other teams, and I think I'm going to get an ownership break on the other five GPP teams I have listed. Marlins and Brewers. The Marlins have been hitting better recently. They had some surprising games against the Orioles and just but I think Peralta's got to be the top one between Hay and Kirby here. It's a $200 difference. Both of them are in great spots tonight, so you just flip a coin and figure out who's going to be your SP1 there. And then Rogers on the other side, like he's been volatile. I have him in the fade no interest category, but I mean, if you're R 150 max and want to throw him in like 1 to 2 lineups in there, I don't absolutely hate it. Now that Yelich is out of this, like they've struggled against left-handed pitching. Gary Sanchez is joining the lineup again. He will increase their K rate definitely. Contreras, who's righty, hits righties better than lefties. He's kind of a reverse splits batter at sometimes. So I think you can make a case for Rogers here, and Walkie actually has the fourth highest K rate. So maybe I'll move him over. I think if anything over Stone, I will put him here, and maybe is going to be the sleeper tonight that I play. Yeah, maybe I found something here. Maybe he's the one that I'm going to be playing in this immaculate inning, and it's going to help me take down the money. So I'll keep him in my back pocket there. That wise, Miami's a leverage play against Peralta, and Milwaukee, I think, is probably my fifth favorite stack if you're paying up. I'd probably stick to the righties Ortiz, Hoskins, Contreras at 5K again. Like, I don't know if I want to pay that with just the results against left-handed pitching. Adames, Churro, and then probably I'd take a shot at Gary Sanchez at the same position there over Contreras, and I'm saving myself like almost 2K. It's like 1.7K. Cubs and Royals, Hendricks and Singer. Hendricks again is like more washed up, no K upside, and Kansas City have been pretty hot recently, 90 degrees there, and wind blowing across the field at 8 miles per hour. If it turns a little bit out, I mean that's definitely going to help hitting. And we've seen a lot of balls flying out there with the heat and humidity recently. Singer on the other side, he's been solid, and even though the Cubs have been also without Bellinger in the lineup, that's like a huge blow there up top. So I think the bottom of the lineup you can definitely take advantage of. And even though the Cubs K rate has been less than 20%, I still think that Singer can get enough to get it done. I think it's a better matchup than probably Cortez and Kikuchi have. But I think between the 8K range, like Cortez, Singer, and Kikuchi, it's very close. And I think they're more GPP than cash plays. But again, we'll see how your lineup works out. I think they have enough floor to possibly get you buying cash. Cubs, I think are 150 max there. Again, I think Singer's a decent uh, pitcher, and the Kansas City bullpen has been the third best. So after that, I just don't see a lot of potential for them to put up runs, even if they get through the starter. And then Kansas City is probably my fourth favorite stack on the slate here against Hendricks. Seattle and Chicago White Sox. The wind's blowing in here 9 miles per hour, so this is definitely going to help pitching. Kirby and Thorpe. Kirby again, like I said, between him and Peralta, pick one of those for your SP1. And Thorpe, I think at 66 here, definitely is my second favorite guy in the 6K range. And Seattle definitely has strikeouts in their lineup. So Seattle, I think, is cheap bats. I've been playing them a lot recently. Um, you have a lot of the splits up top there, and Rojas, Riley, Polanco, and Rayleigh. And then Robles, even though it's righty on righty, has just so much upside with his speed. It's a nice little 5-man stack there that helps you fit it in. And again, like if you're playing like the Orioles and some of these other teams that you want to stack that have a lot of outfield positions that you want to fill, and they fill a lot of infield positions. I guess the Orioles aren't too bad at that either. But sometimes when you go stack a team, it's like all outfielders, and then you're trying to find someone to stack with them. Like the only outfielder would be Robles here, but everybody else fills an infield spot. You have third catcher, second base, and first base with Riley not being eligible there, so it just works out beautifully. And if you need a little bit of salary saving, even though he doesn't have the split, Locklear bats right next to um, Riley, and he's only 2.8K. White Sox going to be probably a top leverage stack on the slate here against Kirby, and that's all I can say about that. Uh, Nationals and St. Louis, Mackenzie Gore and Sonny Gray. Mackenzie Gore started out the season really strong, but recently something's wrong. Either people have seen film on him and he's tipping his pitches and they're doing well, or maybe a lingering injury or something that he needs to go out for a bit to get taken care of. But I'm off on or I still have them in the cheap range, but you have so three like six or a couple of 6K guys that are so much better. I don't think is yeah, he needs 6K. So you got three 6Ks above him in the rankings today that I feel are so much better. So I don't think you really need Gore. And Sonny Grary's been solid and he could be a nice pivot for Peralta and Kirby against the Nationals team that got no hit yesterday by Dylan Cease. So congratulations on that, Cease. Uh, Amazing game and great accomplishment, and hats off to you. So, what happens here with Washington? Do they bounce back? So I have them in the leftover leverage category just because I think Gray's a decent pitcher, and obviously they couldn't put anything together yesterday. So does that mean come out with bad news today, or does that mean we've seen more of the same? I don't know, but I probably won't be playing them. St. Louis, I think, definitely is intriguing here. Also, I probably like Oakland, Seattle, and San Francisco better than them. But with Gore's his struggles, like I don't mind playing Wynn and Wilson Contreras here, even though he's getting a little bit expensive. Arenado and Goldsmith lottery is there. But Pedro Pagas, the catcher, if you don't want to play for Contreras and do a wraparound thing, is only 2-4, and he definitely has some power that he flashes every so often. So St. Louis can make a nice little under owned stack for you there on such a big slate. Oakland Athletics and Los Angeles Angels. Paul Blackburn. I've seen different guys for the Angels, for the Oakland. Most everybody has faced them recently because this team has played a series against each other recently. So I don't like Blackburn. He just hasn't done really well, and I don't think there's really an A's pitcher that I really like either. Fulmer on the other side, same thing. I think you can put him in the 150 max, but he didn't fare well against Oakland recently, and they have been hitting really well and putting up some runs recently. They're turning into like the more the little engine it could, kind of like the Angels were earlier in the season. The Angels have like really kind of fall off with one production. I think they're just kind of mailing it in. Trout's been trying to rehab and get back to them to try to help see if they can make a last push, but he got pulled out of rehab, started getting his surgically repaired knee reevaluated. So I just don't know. This team couldn't stay healthy. I think they're just going to write the year off. Although a lot of these young players have gotten up and gotten some time. Renfroe is back, which I like. Verdon's kind of washed up top of the lineup. Ward's a great player. Volpe, but I just like him against left-handed pitching so much more that I think the Angels aren't play cheap bats, but I just don't think, even though I will play one lineup, I play the Angels every single day just because I've always have. Not because they're my favorite team. It's is the thing I did back about almost 10 years ago now, 2007. I started playing one team every single, maybe, oh, maybe it was that far back. So it's been a while. But I've used to pair them with Cleveland, but Cleveland always plays on the early slate now. So it's been the Angels and whatever team. I haven't found a permanent partner with them yet, but this season. But Oakland's turning into a team too that I like to play a lot, almost every single day too, and definitely will have some exposure to them tonight. I think they're a top cheap stack on the slate because the most expensive one is like Langoliers at four. Actually, Rooker at 5-3, and he's worth it. 3 out of 4 games, he's just had monster games recently, but everybody else is like 4-2 or less. They're all in the 3K range and have a lot of potential there. Pittsburgh and Arizona, you have Luis Ortiz and Gallen. I don't mind Ortiz. I think people are going to look at him against this Arizona team in almost a five total and saying no way. But look at his box scores recently. He's been getting Ks and been pitching solidly, with like some real solid starts against some real quality opponents. So don't sleep on him. I know he might actually be above Gore in the rankings here as I talk it out here and break down the slate for you. So don't sleep on Ortiz. And again, he might be one of the sneaky ones that I'm thinking for my immaculate inning two there, just based on the last couple outings I've seen. And we've seen Arizona struggle at times too. I like them against left-handed pitching, against right-handed pitching. Sometimes they can not be good, but they do have 4.8 total. So I think that you can take some shots here. Carroll, Peterson, Marte. Walker, and then I don't know. I think sometimes I do Perdomo just with a cheap wraparound at 2.8 or Thomas. I usually, if it's against a righty, don't play Gurriel, Moreno, or Suarez. There, although Suarez did have a home run against a righty the other night in Kansas City, I believe it was. So Pittsburgh bats, I think they just go in the leftover category. Gallen hasn't been great recently at 9-1. He's come back from an injury. He doesn't look 100% yet, but maybe it's still just getting his confidence back. Maybe he's still a little bit sore. I don't know, but I think that, Peralta, Kirby, and Gray is where I'm going. If you want to go in a GPP, maybe Gallon should be in play here. Pittsburgh definitely, can have some Ks at times. And, all depends if Reynolds is out of the lineup too. I mean, that definitely water sinks down and helps the case for Gallon. Final game here, we have Colorado at San Francisco, not in Coors, in San Francisco, so it's a park downgrade for both of them who just played recently. Kyle Freeland, I think he's got to be in play here also. I know we have him in the fade no interest one just because San Francisco has been pretty hot recently, even outside of Coors. They still hit pretty well against the Dodgers, especially Fitzgerald. Um, and Kyle Harrison, I think, is definitely my favorite. It could be my SB2 tonight. The Rockies have just struggled so much, especially outside of course. Harrison has a decent K rate, and at 6.9, if he can get me 14 to 16, 17 DK points. That's just going to be such a solid floor for cash games that I just can't pass it up. So bat wise, Colorado, I think Harrison will have some ownership, so it'll be a leverage play. And then San Francisco makes me my third favorite one. And a lot of righties here. Soler, Fitzgerald has been moved up to the two hole here, and he's earned it with just how hot he's been recently. Five straight games with home runs. I don't know if he had a home run yesterday, but previous to that, there was a 5 game streak where he had a home run in every single game against quality opponents. Ramos, Matos might get in there too against the lefty. Chapman, Bailey, a catcher, switch hitter. You definitely have some uh, nice pieces here that you can make for a cheap stack. So let's get in the build to get you on your way for your day here, for your weekend. So give me Kirby and Harrison, like I talked about here. If you want to go Peralta, that's fine. But this line I built for just to $1. So I'll let you decide if you want to play Rushman there or play another cheaper catcher. But give me O'Hearn, give me Fitzgerald. I'm going with the Giants here. So you could go Bailey or Rushman up there. Um, or sometimes there's if there's a cheaper catcher from Baltimore that makes his way into the lineup, then that's fine too. Third base, I'll let you decide who you want to play there. If you want to play Westbrook or if you want to play Chapman, Henderson, Santana, and Soler, and then I'll let you decide if you want to fill in with like a Ramos or a Derek Hill if he's in, or Yastrzemski at the bottom of the San Francisco lineup, or if you want to go Cowser or whoever there to finish out your Baltimore stack. So for GPP, Cortez and Thorpe, I like this pairing as pitchers with upside in their matchup, but just don't have the floor for me for cash. And I'm taking the A's and I'm taking the Athletics. So this is probably not the lineup I'm going to play in the immaculate inning, but it's going to be on primary GPP lineup here. So Perez Verlander, Lears there, Pascal. I don't know what that'll happen there. It's Esquitian. I'm making new vocabulary word that it should be Pascal. like 5 in the morning here, so still not quite awake. Witt, Butler, and Rooker are the outfielders I want for the A's. So I got for your favorite questions. Put in chat below. Hit me with MegaRow31 on X/Twitter. If you want more information on FSi DFS, you can get into our Discord. It's only it's really cheap, like $3 a day for Major League Baseball. Like $15 a week. So definitely be able to help you through the weekend when we're not able to sometimes get videos out. No NASCAR this week, but if you get our VIP package for only $6 a day, like we have PGA still going. We're trying to cover the Olympics and soccer and basketball. We got baseball going. So there are some sports to get you through weekend if you want to just go outside and watch a game on your phone in the sunshine at the beach or whatever, and just have some skin in the game and be able to maybe make some cash there. So appreciate you watching. If these videos help us back, like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. So think McKinley will have the video tomorrow. We'll try to get one out Sunday. We usually don't. And then next week, I don't know what the schedule is. I will be away on vacation, but I'll take my stuff with me and I can still like film on my iPad and stuff. I'd never mind doing that, getting up early before the rest of the family does and just digging into these slates and, breaking them down for you. It's just, we've had so many people do so well this year through the videos, through our Discord and stuff. Just gives me incentive to continue to do it. So, and to just continue to enjoy do it. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Hope you start out with some green screens. So, I will see you next time.